Good morning and welcome to Asked and Answered. I'm Danny Rizzo.
And I'm Sabrina Reich.
And today we are going to talk about what rights you should be aware of in this new era of immigration enforcement. So, the Trump administration has ordered ICE to increase their arrest rates and their workplace raids. We heard news about a raid in Newark, New Jersey. According to a statement following that raid by the mayor of New Jersey, the ICE agents who entered that workplace did not have a warrant, and that just raises the issue of being aware of your rights. So we wanted to discuss some of the things that individuals and employers should be aware of.
Something to tack onto that is the Trump administration during the first week also took the safeguards up for certain safe spaces, including hospitals, schools, places of worship, where now ICE is able to go in and conduct targeted raids. But even though those safeguards have been lifted, that doesn't mean that those are all fully public spaces. And so it's important to know your rights as far as where they can and cannot go and what needs to be done in order for them to properly gain access to an area.
Right. So if your workplace is a public space, right? So a shopping mall or something like that, where people can come and go as they please, and of course ICE also has a right to be in that public space. That also includes train stations, airports, any kind of public transportation. So they have a right to be there. But if you are in a private space, or even if there's a public portion and a private portion of a facility, ICE does not have the right to enter a private facility or portion of a facility unless they have a warrant. And that warrant has to be signed by a judge. Sometimes they present administrative warrants that are not signed by a judge. Those are not enough to allow them to search a private space. Another thing for individuals to be aware of is that anybody who's a foreign national over the age of 18 should always carry proof of registration when they're outside of their home. For permanent residents, that would be the green card or other alternative proof of permanent residency, such as an expired green card and a receipt notice for 990.
A 751
receipt. Yeah. Or it could be a temporary I-551 stamp and a foreign passport. For people who are in the U.S. temporarily, passport and I-94. Sometimes there's additional documents besides that you should have. For example, international students should also carry their current I-20 form as proof of their maintenance of status. And there is some evidence that there has been some racial profiling in some of these raids. So although not required to, if you think you may be a target for that and you're a U.S. citizen, carrying proof of your U.S. citizenship is not a bad idea. There was a statement by the Navajo Nation that a lot of their Navajo citizens, were asked for tribal identification because they were being profiled and targeted by ICE. So having that proof on you can make that interaction go a lot more quickly.
Also, if you have not been lawfully admitted or paroled in the U.S., you're going to want to carry proof of your physical presence in the U.S. for the last 2 years. The reason for that is to try to demonstrate that you are not subject to expedited removal. So they'd have to go through the full removal process that would occur in front of an immigration judge.
Yes. You should also be aware that if an agent asks to conduct a search, you can say no unless they have a warrant. If you consent to a search, which it may feel very coercive in the moment, but if you say yes, you can search me, then you've consented to it. and you don't have to do that if there's no warrant. You also have the right to remain silent if you are arrested and to ask to contact a lawyer. As with, a lot of the issues that were, announcements that were made in the past week, these are rapidly unfolding issues. We're going to continue to track them. There's breaking news every single day, and so we'll continue to monitor that.